Hi, welcome back to Better Than Yourself. If you're a regular follower of this channel, you realize I haven't posted anything in a couple of weeks. There's a reason for that. I thought I should give you guys some explanation. Been feeling kind of lost and alone and uninspired, and thought I needed to find something new to ferment. We've kind of covered all the bases: sauerkraut, onions, carrots, the easy stuff. Wanted to do something unique, something new, something we haven't fermented before. So got an invitation to study with Sandor Katz, of all people, the author of Art of Fermentation, Wild Fermentation, some great books, books that I recommend all the time. You can hit a link down below if you want to pick one up from Amazon. So I've been at Sandor's for a couple of days, and it's been a fantastic experience. We fermented some things that I've never fermented before. We fermented things that I've never even heard of before. So I've shot a lot of video, and I'm gonna hope to share it with you in the next couple of weeks. And I think you'll be inspired. I know I'm inspired. So stay tuned to the channel, and I can share with you some things like tempeh, natto, miso. We're gonna make some great stuff. It's got some great new flavors for you. I can tell from the comments that you guys are hooked on the fermented taste. Let's take it to the next step and make something truly delicious. Not to leave you guys hanging this week, here's a little sneak peek of Sandor in his kitchen talking to us about what we all love to do best. See you next week.
Molds are very different from bacteria and yeast. Bacteria and yeast just divide. They don't particularly have like stages of their development. Mm-hmm. But molds they're much more like us. They have like delineated phases of life. And they're not reproductive for their entire life. Like, they reach a stage of their development where they become reproductive, and that's when they sporulate. And in the tempeh, the sporulation is black. The mold is white. The sporulation is black. With the koji, the mold is white, and the sporulation is yellow. One of the things that I think is really interesting, if we think of fermentation as a transformative action of microorganisms, and if we think of microorganisms as being those organisms that we cannot see with our naked eye, and that we've really only become aware of as a result of technology that's enabled us to magnify everything. Molds, they are microorganisms, but they're not microorganisms because they start as microorganisms. The spores are microscopic. We can't see the spores. And the spores are everywhere. None of us has ever taken a breath in our lives where, spores didn't, enter our nose and to some degree enter our lungs. And we've never eaten anything that didn't have spores. This carrot, we couldn't even count how many spores are on here. So everything we're eating is covered with spores, but we only ever say, ew, when we can see that a mold has begun to develop on the food. So molds begin microscopic, and as they develop and mature, they become visible to the eye. So, like in the Chinese literature, like 3,000 years ago, they were distinguishing between different kinds of molds. So in a way that, until the time of Pasteur, nobody was really able to distinguish between different kinds of bacteria or different kinds of yeasts. With molds, there's this literature going back thousands of years that what they called the rhizopus molds, they called white-robed mold. The aspergillus molds, they called yellow-robed mold, because when it matured, it sort of turned this bright yellow color.